is up, you guys? Today we are gonna have another edition of a Brokie's Perspective. Now today we're gonna react to a fighter who is also or was a UFC champion. He's considered one of the greatest of all time. At one time he was a pound for pound #1 fighter in the entire UFC, and you guessed it, it's the Nigerian Nightmare, Kamaru Usman. Now, the first edition that we did, or the first video that we did on Brokie's Perspective, we did it on Israel Adesanya. So this is going to be another video of another fellow Nigerian fighter. So yeah, basically this will be another fun, very light-hearted video. We're just going to have some fun and do some personal reflection and, again, hopefully get some motivation out of it. But if you are new to this channel, then please like and share this video and subscribe to the channel for more such content. But without any further ado, let's get right down to it.
Yeah, it's me. Pound for pound, best in the world. Yeah. What's up, GQ Sports? This is Kamaru Usman, aka the Nigerian Nightmare. And this is how I made, spent, and saved.
Hey! Man, that's one of the best nicknames I've ever heard in the history of combat sports. Like, the Nigerian Nightmare. That just has such a great ring to it. Yeah. And I'm expecting a lot of bling bling from this guy too. Not as much as Israel though.
I was born and raised in Auchi, Nigeria. We farmed and we did everything. Immigrated here to the States at about 8 years old. Growing up, we learned a lot of money lessons from my parents. One of my first real hustle was flipping Pokemon cards. So I found a good supplier where I could buy the collection of cards, about $6-7, and I would get 1 or 2 rare cards in there that I would turn around and flip for about 25, sometimes even 40, depending on the scarcity of that.
My guy's been a hustler since day one. That's nice.
Card. So that was my hustle. Everybody had a good Christmas that year. After leaving college, I got an opportunity to be a coach on season 14 of The Ultimate Fighter. As it comes full circle, I end up on the season 21. So I end up winning that season.
Oh wow!
UFC career.
I did not know Kamaru Usman won The Ultimate Fighter. Now, for those of you guys who don't know what that is, Ultimate Fighter is basically a reality TV version of UFC. So it's basically a reality TV where it's like Big Boss, not Big Boss, it's like Big Brother, but with UFC, I guess. It has a bit of drama on it, but hey, it's mostly just fighters fighting, and then at the end, the guy who wins the show gets a contract for UFC. Rahul Rojas Jr. Is the latest winner, if I'm not wrong, or was a winner, and he got a contract for the UFC. And yeah, Kamaru Usman. I think Nate Diaz also won one of the seasons too. But yeah, Tony Ferguson did as well. So there you go. A lot of notable fighters from Ultimate Fighter.
Was probably one of the scariest decisions. I've been doing wrestling for a long time.
Yeah.
Wrestling was still control. I knew how to defend myself, but now going all the way into this completely new sport was nerve-wracking.
Hey,
I was scared of it.
Colby Covington!
Towards it. And I've had to, of course, have different jobs. While wrestling, I worked at Applebee's. It was a fun job. I worked with some very, very fun people out there in Nebraska. It really helped me understand working for your money. And then once I got more and more into MMA, my first fight, I made 1-1, which is good. And first fight, 1,000. My opponent missed his weight, so I got, I think, an extra $250 from him. So,
man, that's just so sad. Fighters, man. Yeah, he's happy about it, but hey, you gotta understand, he's one of the ones who made it. We're watching his video because he's one of the ones who made it. But there's a shit ton there's millions of fighters out there in this world, right, that fight and get nothing but injuries to suffer from the rest of their lives, and they don't have much money. They don't have any money to show for themselves. So it's just brutal, man. The fighting industry, the fighting sport is just brutal. It's ruthlessly brutal.
Fast forward a few years to how I made my first.
Hey, bling, bling, bling!
My first fight in the UFC was a good one because I ended up getting a bonus.
Hey,
so
stop
the extra 50.
Oh!
So because I ended up getting a bonus. So it's
oh my God! That came full circle, man. Yo, Leon Edwards, man. That's Leon Edwards. So those of you who don't know, Kamaru Usman was pound for pound the #1 guy. At the time, I guess he was at his peak. He has been a champion for like, what, 2 years straight? And then guess what? He fights one of the most craziest fights against Leon freaking Edwards. He's the one who dethrones him by like a late kick to the head that just turned everybody's head around. Wow. Wow. Life has a way of just working full circle.
Extra 50,000. So I'm like, I'm rich. I'm rich. The fight that really broke it for me and hit me and let me know, oh, wow, we're making a little bit of money now. I would say it was my Sean Strickland fight.
Wow!
Like almost 70 bands. I'm like, oh, that's more than a teacher's salary. I'm good. I'm rich.
Hey!
So that was the first fight that I had a significant cushion.
Kamaru fought a lot of A-list
so my
fighters.
second
man.
headline fight, which was RDA, Rafael Dos Anjos.
What the fuck?
I think that was the first time I seen six figures that Tuesday.
Man, he fought all the big names and he beat them all.
When
Wow.
that direct deposit hit the account, whoa, I just stared at the account.
Hey, man.
Oh, man,
I want to do that
I'm here.
someday.
So when you become a champion, you're not just a fighter, you're a business partner. And business has been good.
I'm
not
sure
exactly
it is.
at liberty to tell you exactly what I made, but with the performances that I've been putting on lately, I have to say these are starting to stack up a little bit more. Cool. All right, so we talked about how I made my first million. Now let's talk about how I spent
My first million. That's what we're here for. Let's go.
Well, my daughter's birthday was the first big purchase.
Wow.
I had to go big. So between
A family
that
man.
and I bought a nice white Nissan Maxima. So a combination of both cost me about 30,000.
That's good. That's good. A Nissan Maxima, man. That's just a very reasonable purchase. Like it's nothing too crazy. It's a very durable, nice ass car that's gonna last him for 10, 20 years. So that's a very, very good purchase. Like that's no bling bling. Yeah, the birthday party, I understand he went overboard. It's his daughter, and as somebody who doesn't have any kids but who has nephews and nieces, I would want to go overboard as well. So I completely understand that, and that's 100% relatable. You gotta respect that, man.
Such an extravagant party. We had everything, you know. We had catered food.
My man living it up.
It was like a party planner.
My man
She's
living it up.
Kids parties. At the
Hey.
time, no, the Nissan Maxima wasn't the dream car. The Nissan Maxima was the flyest car in that budget range.
Hey.
So I was young. My uncle was always, you know, if you
My
had a
man
little
living
bit of
within his
change,
means,
you
but
balling
still
in the
living.
Maxima. Actually, they were balling in the Altimas. The Maxima was a step up.
Hey.
I felt real bossy driving my Maxima.
And there it is. There it
Next
is.
purchase was a Rolex. I would say all in all, with the
Bling,
tax
bling.
and everything, the shipping, it was close to about 20,000. After the RDA fight, going into the Woodley fight, it was just something about
Damn.
my manifestation with the work that I put in. I'm about to become world champion, so I need to look like a world champion.
Yeah.
Rolex.
Yeah.
So my coach and his
I mean, Israel Adesanya did say he's one of the most fly-looking guy, right? He had the best fashion sense in the entire UFC. He looked really fly when he used to come into his press conferences. So yeah, my man knew what he had to do to be a brand.
wife took me to a jeweler in Florida, and I was able to go in and see all the watches, and I'm like, yo, I like this.
Hey.
And I go over to the Rolex, and I see the big presidential. I'm like, I want that.
Damn,
and then they showed
bro.
me the price tag. I was like, nah, I want the other one. I want that one. I found one that was beautiful. It was nice. It went with everything, and it just made me feel that feeling.
Man, I'm not big on watches. Like I myself, I never really wear watches. But hey, I've seen so many rich people wear it that I want to be rich enough one day to be able to wear that myself. You know what I mean? Like, let me know in the comments what you guys think of that. You know, watches and stuff. I genuinely feel it's a waste of money. That's just me. Like 12K on a Rolex, bro. I would never spend that. Rolex, man, I don't think I ever will. And if I ever, even if I get to the, like, even if I God willing, even if I become like really rich one day, inshallah, I don't think I'll ever spend that kind of money on a watch. Like, I feel like you can just watch, you can just look at your phone and just beat the purpose of a watch. It's just it's just a, what do you call it? It's just a flex at the end of the day, right? So I've never worn watches. I'm not big on watches. So yeah, I feel like that's not me. Like, I would never do that.
each and every fight, I make sure that my trainers and my coaches are taken care of, because they make a lot of sacrifices for me to give me that time and really give me that extra special attention. So after fights, I always want to make sure that I deviate at least 20% on the side for them, and I always want to make sure that they're taken care of and that they feel appreciated for the time, the work, and the effort that they put into me. So I would say about, all in all, allocate about 20%, so about 200,000 that I've taken.
Damn! That's a good man right there. That's a good man right there. Like, he appreciates the people who are working for him day and night. Because, guys, a life of a UFC fighter, it ain't easy. It's one of the hardest things you can do in life. Like a job, the life of an athlete is just, it's impossible. Like it's next to impossible to live. Like, right? That's why these guys are so respected and so well paid. Like the conditioning, the training, and all that good stuff. Like he's taking care of his trainers. It's just, you know, investing in himself. So at the end of the day, he's actually investing in himself. Because if he's taking care of the people who are working for him or working with him, right? Then they would appreciate him even more and put in even more effort, because they know that if he wins, they win. So yeah, that's just a, you know, it's a passive investment on himself. So yeah, that's you can't knock a guy for that. So far it looks great.
The most important thing for me is my daughter, making sure that she's good. So she's in a private school.
That's a good man.
Each year that runs me about close to 10 to 15,000. She's in the 2nd grade, so all in all, allocated almost 30,000.
Damn.
It's my daughter, and she's worth it.
Absolutely.
She used to always hit mitts with me in the garage, and she already told me, she said with her little attitude in her eyes, you know I'm not gonna be a fighter. I'm like, I don't want you to be a fighter.
Yeah.
I want you to be a doctor. She goes, well, I don't know. We'll see.
That's sweet, man.
That's how she answered.
Man, I'm really loving Kamaru Usman. I never really cared for him when he was like at his peak, because, you know, he was just a monster, and he's a wrestler. I'm more of a striking kind of guy. Like I like strikers more. But I'm really liking this guy. This guy's so nice. Like he's so humble. He's so down to earth, and like he's not arrogant, but he's confident enough to like, and he can balance it really well. You know, he's confident, but he's humble as well at the same time, and you can't help but appreciate and, like, you know, freaking respect the guy for like looking out for his family. He prioritizes his daughter the most, and it's really sweet. So yeah, this is pretty sweet so far.
Don't really have a dream school for her, but as an immigrant, I understand which school is right for her.
Harvard, Stanford.
Better for me to tell my friends my daughter goes to Harvard, Stanford. Those really still hold precedent. If I had a choice, I would want her to go to one of those.
Us immigrants, we all think the same fucking way. All right? Like, we all think if you go to a big-ass school, you know, with all this prestige and shit, even though it's fucking useless, even if you go there for fucking philosophy, I don't know. This is not a knock on philosophy majors. I'm just saying, using it as an example. Or like what? I don't know, gender studies, right? Even if you go there, that name alone, that brand, right? When we get to spew it in front of our relatives and like our friends that, hey, my daughter, my son goes to that school, goes to Harvard, goes to Stanford, man, people just look at you twice. And every immigrant thinks exactly like that. I'm somebody who doesn't even like going to university, or like who doesn't even purport the idea of like going to university and getting a degree. Like I'm very anti-university, but unless you go for engineering and or like for medical or lawyer or all that good stuff. But yeah, like even I fantasize about the fact that, hey, what if one day my nephew and my niece, right? What if one day they get to go to a Stanford or a Harvard? Like, even I think that, bro. So yeah, every fucking immigrant thinks like that.
On a full scholarship, of course.
Or a donation.
500,000, $500,000. That was the house.
Damn, bro.
Get the infinity pool, but somebody cuts my grass. We got that. I bought it after last fight, so everything's been getting like,
that's an investment, man. You need a home.
Over.
You need a place to call your home. Call your home.
First night in it, it was a good feeling. Everything I always heard, yeah, you got to put money in the market, you got to invest and this, and invest. I'm like, all right. I didn't really know what I was doing. So a friend introduced me to some lady who invests for you. So she approaches me, we have a conversation, we talk. She was attractive, of course. Nothing happened on that front, but she was attractive, so it was very easy to be distracted. Give her about almost 60,000.
Damn!
90 cents. Yeah. I I don't think I did my due diligence as far as the homework and the research behind this person. Gave her about 60 bands and just flew away.
Man, that's what happens with these athletes the most. And athletes, actors, they're like the fucking target to these scammers and to these shady ass investors that pose themselves as investors and or like financial planner or whatever. Another prime example of that was Usain Bolt. Usain Bolt lost like 10 million of his hard-earned money, right? The guy literally shed blood, sweat and tears for that. He lost like 10 million of his money, and because of some shady ass financial advisor or whatnot took his money and just pretty much, I think he ran with it or like made some crazy ass investment that didn't bring in any money. Like, all these athletes, man, they always face that. So yeah, if you guys are on the up and coming and you guys are making money, yeah, please be careful. Don't buy into any bullshit that these shady ass investors they come up with or like shady ass financial advisors come up with.
So after that one, I had a pretty bad taste in my mouth for investing, but somehow was talked into investing again. This time I was around some wise people. I went in on the market myself this time. Invested another 30K, which has paid off big time.
That's good, man. That's good. He learned from his mistake. And that's something most people don't get. Even if most people get the opportunity, they don't learn from their mistake, and sometimes they don't even get that opportunity. So yeah, big ups to him because he learned from his mistake. So that's really cool. Hey!
Next big purchase that I bought is, of course, new house,
new whip.
You
gotta boss up now.
Got the Range Rover.
Hey!
The Velar was nice. It was smooth. It was just came out. I loved it. Black on black with the nice little, leather.
Damn, bro.
About 80,000 for that.
That's still good. Like Adesanya spent like what, 500 grand on his McLaren. Range Rover for 80K, bro. That just makes you look like a fucking boss. So yeah, 80K is still pretty reasonable if you ask me. For a millionaire, it's pretty reasonable.
My oldest brother, Dr. Usman,
hey,
getting married. I was part of this wedding, getting married too, so I was partially responsible for kicking in. Doing some business with my brother, now investing again, starting to really diversify the portfolio. We went in on some real estate, and then I also kicked in for his wedding. So all in all, rounding out, I would say about 50,000.
That's a good, I mean, you gotta help your family out, right?
It makes me feel good that they were able to experience that I was able to experience those things. Because now when it's actually in front of you, it's just paper. But this paper creates so many memories in those times.
Every rich person says that. Adesanya said it's all fugazi. This guy's saying it's just paper. Like every rich guy who becomes a millionaire, he says that. But hey, ask us Brokies how it feel. And trust me, for us, we would go crazy. Like we would do anything and everything for that kind of stuff. Well, not anything and everything, but like we would, like, man, we can only dream of being able to say that one day. And hopefully we will get there one day. Hey, let's get there one day. We will get there one day. We will make our dreams a reality. Let's go.
It's a feeling that you can't really replace. You can't replicate that feeling.
Yeah.
I'm totally grateful for this, but at the end of the day, it's just paper.
Yeah, come on, fuck off, man.
GQ Sports. You guys saw and heard how I made, saved, and of course spent my first million. And I appreciate it. Thank you. I'm gonna see y'all later. Yeah.
Wow. Alright, that was a really fun watch. I did not know Kamaru Usman was that charismatic, man. I swear to God, I did not know that. And he has a very confident, likable personality. He doesn't sound like a Colby. He's not a trash talker like Colby. I think that's why he got all that hate when he fought Leon Edwards. Because I did see some people hating on him. Because I think he tried to do the trash talking, and I don't think that's him. That's not him. I think he was trying to be something he was not. And he has a very likable personality. Like the guy, you can't hate on the guy. Like this, he's very confident. He's not like a complete walkover. Like you can't walk all over him. You gotta give him his prop. Yeah. So basically, compared to what we watched on the other video with Adesanya, Kamaru has been very, very modest when it comes to spending his money, and he's not more of a bling bling kind of guy as Israel Adesanya was. I guess you could say it was because of how he worked for his money, or like how he was brought up. Like as you saw, as he said, he grew up in like in Nigeria, where like he did farming and stuff, and then he earned the importance of money. I guess he didn't belong from like the richest family, you know, out there, or like he's not from like a privileged background. But then he moved to the States. But then he had jobs while he was working, or while he was a wrestler. He wasn't even a UFC fighter back then, or an MMA fighter. So he worked for his money. So he's not from like a privileged background. So you can clearly see that he is very cautious about how he spends his money. Except that $60,000, of course. But hey, we all make mistakes, right? Some of us make $60,000 worth of mistakes. Some of us make like what? $20 worth of mistakes, right? But we all make mistakes at the end of the day. While the one with Israel Adesanya was very over the top, and you know, you saw him go actually way overboard of his 1 million. We saw Kamaru Usman just, you know, taking care of his family, taking care of his loved ones, taking care of his daughter, investing wisely, making money from using money. And yeah, like you can't help but appreciate that. And he actually gives us a good lesson that, you know, even if you get to be rich one day, even if you get to be a millionaire one day, you should always, like, you know, spend within your means. Because at first he spent his money on a Nissan Maximus, I guess that's the name of the car, or Maxim, whatever, I forgot. But yeah, and then you saw him upgrade to a Range Rover, which again, compared to a McLaren, Ferrari, Bugatti, it's not that expensive. So yeah, that still makes you look like a boss, but hey, you're still not going overboard, if you know what I mean. But yeah, I have nothing but newfound respect for Kamaru Usman now, and newfound liking for him. I mean, I always kind of liked the guy, but now I definitely like him a lot more. And yeah, that's it from me today, guys, for this video. If you guys like this video, then please like and share this video, and subscribe to the channel for more such content. And I'll see you in the next video.